Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Z2R Upstarts tournament. We have game 2 of the finals between VixRyder and Chadbert. Vix taking game 1, looking to wrap it up here. Chadbert looking to force a game 3. That being said, I'm going to hand it off to our commentators who are also double duty tracking, Mirai and Tiberius. Take it from here, you two.
Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to tonight's matchup. As VXR has said, this could be the final race in this best of 3 if Vix takes it. Otherwise, Chadbert is going to be hopefully looking to force that game 3. But joining me on comms here tonight, Tiberius, how are we doing?
I'm doing just fine, Mirai. Looking forward to a really good match tonight, and couldn't be happier to be in the booth with you for what I've truly been looking forward to all day. These two both put on a great show all tournament, so really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I will just say that Tiberius is sitting so close to me. His glorious beard is brushing up against my shoulder. Not sure what to think about it, but I'm gonna let it slide for now.
It's not my fault the booth is so small.
Yeah, so Chadbert, we talked about this before. Chadbert Seed 1 coming out of the async weeks, and Vix Seed 3, so pretty even matchup here. And Vix taking race 1, and I mean, this could really just go either way. I mean, this is going to be a close one, hopefully just like the last one. We got jumped in Rudo today, looking for the trophy hint already. Might be grabbing 3 more hints along the way. Nope, Vix saying, I don't want any hints from these people.
Yep, looks like our trophy is way out in the east as well.
Oh, look at that. Vix checks the last NPC just standing on the outside, and it's the one with the hint that Guma sits on a pee bag. Wow.
So sometimes you get paid off by skipping those houses, and it looks like Vix is going to check that connector nice and early, and we get the maze.
Right into our first drop. What is this going to be? Is it the child like vanilla, or... it's kind of childlike.
I don't know if the granny is going to take that, but we'll see.
Yeah, the currency is either magic containers or dolls. Okay, Chadbert backing out of Maze Island here. Vic's going to be pushing further in, though. Could be kind of rough on this 1-1-1. You're seeing was that a one shot on Vix getting hit by the Zora there? Those things hurt very much so.
Yeah, I think that was one shot, and he just barely moved to move his shield and take that hit. So I think he's noping out for now.
Yeah, it's like a rude awakening. Like, yeah, no, I'm getting one shot for 4 hearts. I'm gonna go ahead and leave and see what else is on the west, which is gonna be easier.
Yep, and it looks like we got King's Tomb here. I'm not sure yet. It's all right. Old lady just knows nothing. She's grieving. Let her be.
Got Chadbert in reverse fairy cave here. I wonder if this is forced at the moment.
Yeah, not totally sure as Vix finds the heart container cave. So gonna get that same enemy set here just mirrored on the stream.
Yeah, very true. And for anyone, this is the perfect time to bring this up for anyone. This is kind of like a side note pro tip thing that because they share the same enemy set, if Vix kills all of the enemies here, doesn't step into a town or a palace or up an A or anything, then he walks into backwards fairy cave, he won't actually have any enemies here. The enemies themselves are actually shared as well. Something that could throw him off, making him think it's Parappa Cave instead.
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. So knowing that there was a Mew in this cave that will respawn could be that little tip that he would need, because that's not in the normal Parappa enemy location.
Yeah, that's true.
But Chadbert makes it through and finds either 3 or 6. Not too sure, but it is one of the 2.
Yeah, and just a moment ago, we did see Thunder in Saria, so we'll be looking for Bagu or using the ferry to get across the gap there. We got it backwards, unless we can make our way around, but we'll have to wait and see if this how this mountainous biome here pans out.
Yeah, Vix showing exactly what we meant there. Walking through that cave without a single care, only that Mew to try and dissuade him from advancing, but gets through just fine.
Yeah, 112 up. There's the P bag for 300, and let's see what he levels up to. I was just going to compare their levels here.
Yep, I think Chadbert got the exact same level there, or the exact same P bag. So yeah, 213 on both sides.
Perfect. Shield in Raru. Or where are we? We're in Raru. Yes. Vanilla location for the spell.
Yep. Shield. I think some of the runners in this tournament got a little spoiled early on with that high life effectiveness. But as we're into these bracket stages now, that shield spell, it pays dividends. So getting that early is always nice.
Yeah, the only trick is that you really have to remember to use it ahead of time. It's like, I think everyone kind of runs into this problem. I know I do, that you take a bunch of damage and then you remember, hey, I got the shield spell. And by that time, you've already lost a ton of hearts. And it's not nearly as effective as it could have been had you used it before taking all that damage.
Yep, and not quite 1,000, but Chadbert getting a 700 P-bag drop in the pool here, getting him up to 313.
Yeah, and this is one of those things that you're hoping that, like, if you're the opponent here, if Vix sees that bag drop and then takes a death, he's going to have to wait till that comes around again. So hopefully he doesn't miss out on that big amount of money. One thing, though, seeing the heart container cave early on, getting the medicine out of there, whatever's in Mito, Vix is going to be able to pick up, and Chadbert will not, at least currently. So if that's big, like progression or, I don't know, reflect or fairy or something like that, that could be pretty useful to have early on.
Yeah, absolutely. As Vix finds both GP and the raft there on the grass tile, Chadbert making it through that first screen of Medicine Cave. Let's see what he gets out of here for all his hard work.
With 700-point P-bags in the drop pool, you wonder if it's worth to just kind of grind those boggles real fast if you're just kind of afraid of, again, upstarts, newer players, and, how confident are you at the levels you have right now?
Yep, and hey, that actually is a child that we can gift. So, and Vic's finding a way over to the east here. I think that was Reflect Town here in New Kasuda.
Yeah, I totally missed it. I did see the raft tile. Did he take the raft tile over here, or was it via a cave that he came? I was totally watching, trying to both screens here.
Same. I think it was via a cave because he saw the raft tile, went south a little bit. I was watching Chadbert, so I'm not sure if he went back north. Yeah, VT saying there's a cave to the east, so that raft tile could just take us to DM or back to either the east or, the other side of that Maze Island. But definitely that early exploration luck seeming to be favoring VixRyder in these first few minutes anyway. Obviously, it's all going to balance out here shortly. But, just having that medicine, but he's in the east, so not going to really be able to cash it in. So all of these little decisions are going to be interesting to watch as we progress through.
Yeah, we're in Sunken P-Bag Cave here. It looks like a river canyon east, and boots are going to be very helpful to navigate this. Otherwise, it should mostly be navigable on foot just as it is. There's still so much left out there. We'll have to just wait and see to where maybe we'll see the boots, maybe we won't. Apparently we won't in Sunken P-Bag Cave here, but I don't know. They could be buried. They could really be anywhere. But again, these runners can probably navigate the full Eastern Canyon on their own. What just happened there, Tiberius?
Yeah, that's Chadbert staying in the west sees that this is Fairy Town. So while Vix has the medicine to get Fairy and subsequently downstab if he can cast it, Chadbert unfortunately doesn't have, but gets a glove hint.
Yeah, that's pretty hot too. He's going to see where the medicine's at, though, if he ever goes back to start and goes north, and then he's going to be like, man, it was right here, and he could have got downstab at the same time, probably. The whole package here.
Yep, and Vix, that's Death Mountain. Yeah, there you go, just... And here's that hint, yep, west for the medicine, so Chadbert thinking there's not many places left. Also did see the other side of Saria on Chadbert's screen, so he's going to have that Thunder Spell here pretty quickly. Okay. Wonder how expensive that's going to be from the get-go.
Yeah, it's always kind of a crapshoot. Is it going to be 64 or below? Are you going to be able to cast it right away? Or is it going to be something like 90 until Magic 7, you know?
Yeah, always fun. And Chadbert getting the raft hint there from an NPC here. So gonna know, hey, the West has kind of a lot of stuff.
We had the child in Medicine Cave, correct?
Correct, yes. Thank you. So,
Okay.
after all my saying, I can track and talk at the same time.
No, it's not. I totally get tunnel vision myself as well.
Yeah, I was on the ball for Thunder, which I saw 81. So not quite going to be able to cast that, even if they grab another decanter. Going to see how many magic levels that takes to get down into a castable range.
Yeah, Vic's walking into Mito now with his medicine. Going to be grabbing that fairy spell. We'll see if it's castable at Magic 2, 64 or less. If it's not, he might step outside to get a level. I'm pretty sure he's 3 short of Magic 3 there, which is something that you kind of have to keep in mind. Like, if you see this as Fairy Town, it is castable, but if you see this as Fairy Town and you know you're right next to that magic level, maybe just get that beforehand, because you know you're going to be coming back to cast it to get into the, assuming you don't have jump, to get into the downstab house, or what may be an upstab house in future versions of the randomizer.
Yeah, one of those things where the first time I played with the new version, I'm like, wait, what? No, oh, right, switched stabs. But in these flags, Vix gets his downstab, and no, those Garias not playing nicely with Chadbert.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what caves we have left here. What haven't we seen? We haven't seen Trophy Cave yet. What does Vix have uncovered over there?
I think Trophy and Pillar P Bag.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. We saw. Did we see Magic? Did we see Magic Container Cave? I don't remember.
No.
Okay, so those 3, we saw Grass. There's Grass Raft. We saw Heart Container Medicine, and then we saw Medicine Child. And it sounds like we're speaking in code words if you're not entirely familiar with the terminology for Z2 and Z2R. It's just we refer to the names of the caves for what they contain in vanilla, but of course when the item locations are shuffled, it is an option in the randomizer to shuffle all the caves and the items amongst them. We just have, you need some way to identify the cave, so we still go by the vanilla names here in the rando as well, even though it may not contain the same thing. All right, so getting Thunder here for Vix. Again, probably going to still be 81. I doubt it moved from Magic 2 to Magic 3.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that. If anything, it went up a smidge, but we shall see. Either way, not castable.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see if Vix starts to jump into palaces. I don't know if that's what he wants to do. We did see a River Devil, I believe, on the east doing its job. So if we're not going to find boots, we're going to need a flute somewhere. We don't have a hint for either one of those if we want to go any further on the east. So we've got to keep our eye out here. We've got GP on the west. What else did we see on the west? We never made it further in. We never saw the second item in Maze Island. We still got a bunch of stuff, but I don't remember the 2 other palaces if we saw them both on the west.
We saw either 3 or 6 on the west.
That's right. Okay, and then the other one is still MIA.
Yes.
Okay,
so it looks like there is another cave to Maze Island there. Sorry, Mariah.
Oh, no, you're good. Is it a cave off of Maze Island? Maybe we have a segmented east today?
That's kind of what I was thinking there. It's in the middle, kind of by the palace, so it's going to take a hot minute for Vix to get in there. But he's obviously feeling a lot more comfortable traversing this now with that downstab and a little more levels.
And that shield spell.
Oh yeah, never leave home without.
You see, there's 2 little sections there that he's leaving behind, and I always struggle with this. There's no good answer. It's like, do you go through this encounter to check this little dead end, or you just kind of leave it behind? He's already found an item, so it's like, well, there's so much left of Maze Island to check. I'll just remember to come back if I don't find it elsewhere.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if I have the one check really early, I'll just beeline towards the palace, hoping that that's where it is. Yeah. As we see a vanilla P4 on Maze Island today.
Oh, Vix! Give us the K check.
No, come on, man.
Chadbert finding his raft to DM. Yeah, it could just be a troll. It could just be, like you said, another connection to DM or something.
Yep, or the dreaded, it gets you to DM into a completely locked area that you can't escape.
Yeah. So Chadbert not having medicine, not having fairy, not having downstab as a result of all that, kind of feeling a little bit of, I don't know. He's probably not feeling the pressure, but we're seeing the effects of not having downstab. His combat is always a little slower. So if Vix continues to maintain this this downstab, solo downstab holder here, he's gonna be able to get a gap going that Chadbert's gonna have to close.
Yep, and I think I see now what Vix is doing. He's willing to explore the tendrils that have sort of those easier encounters, which I can't really blame him at these levels. It's a comfort thing, to be sure. But like you were saying, he's leaving behind sort of those awkward sections that have one or two encounters in them.
I was hoping to see a blue Lizalfo get killed here. All right, he hasn't found. Is it the last? No. Okay, one last encounter here. Still hasn't seen the second drop. Chadbert heading north. This is what he needs.
Yep, gonna get the non-hint from the grieving widow here, the king's widow, and gonna grab that medicine.
Okay, the cave does go east. So kind of a segmented east, but not really because it's a open river canyon. It's just we can't move forward from the north section where we were first, where we first found ourselves.
Yep. I think the jump cave was pointing north, so it's possible that could be a way there. But I also could be completely misremembering that, and we need the boots to get through that water. But Vix finds life just in time to take a hit from those invisible Moas.
Yeah,
Vix.
this is his last life right here. Okay, he's gonna make it.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that's something that can definitely end your game right there. Invisible Moas hitting you very hard. There looks like 2 hearts, life 3 there.
Yep, and another nice big juicy pea bag there in the forced encounter. There's our water tile, and it looks like 2.
Yeah, speaking of those pea bags, with Chadbert having to fight all those enemies in those encounters, he did see several more 300, 700 point pea bags. He's looking at 434, where Vix is just sitting at 333 now from getting a little skips at the fights.
Okay, video game. Just put helmet head 2 rooms in.
Yeah, this is this is another one of those things. It's like your opponent's not gonna miss this. He's definitely going to find this. So 2 is fast for you, but it's absolutely just as fast for him. Do you stick around and look for something? Now, does Vix have the glove hint for the east? He may not. Did that come from? That came from Mito in the house. Did Vix go into the house? I don't remember. He was skipping houses earlier.
Yeah, I think it was only Chadbert who got that glove hint.
I think so too. And if that's the case, we'll see if maybe Vix sticks around just looking for an item, but maybe not. Not sure. Nope. Okay, no.
Dang. And it could be one of those things, too, where he's like, all right, Helmet Head was literally 2 rooms in. I've explored none of the palace. I can come back and do some exploration later if I need.
Yeah, it's not too bad of a dig to get back here. I mean, you got to walk through a little bit of Maze Island, or, again, if we eventually find the boots, then just walking back to 2 is not going to be a big deal. Chadbert looks like he's going to be a little bit more thorough. Maybe... okay, no, he's also going to step away from Maze Island as well. We don't know what the second item here is on Maze Island. Chadbert does know that the medicine is for Fairy, so I wonder how long he's going to stay away from that, especially with Downstab being right there as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's just pushing the exploration, and like you were saying, he knows those pea bags are in a lot of those drop pools, so maybe just forcing some fights.
Well, if he goes in, he's going to be able to do it, but I mean, I wouldn't go in either. He's to the bottom of the first elevator, bosses are dropping keys, and he'll be able to get through. But again, you don't know that standing on the outside, and there's no logical reason to just go in there with no progression, especially when you know Fairy's just sitting available for you in Mito.
Absolutely. And it could even be one of those decisions too, where you go down that elevator and see, okay, Helmet Head's literally right here. This is a free gem placement later on if I'm feeling a little crunched on levels.
That's very true. That's very true. You can just leave it sitting here, and because you'll be back to this east at some point. And it's absolutely a free level. We saw this in the first race where experience was not amazing, opposite of what we're seeing here, but experience was not amazing, and they were kind of pushed into GP at slightly lower levels than they wanted. And again, probably not going to be a problem here with these big P bags, but you're absolutely right. That is 100% part of the strategy to just leave that quick and easy gem placement to come back to later.
Yeah, definitely something I learned from you in more of a max rando setting of, okay, I'll get combat levels early and then do the gem placement if I don't have a full 6 gem seed. But these runners are going to need to complete all 6 of these palaces.
Yeah, I think
plus GP, of course.
Yeah. I think Chadbert's going to commit to this cave going east. Okay. Not going to go back to the west. Not going to go back and grab Fairy from Nito. This... Again, Vix up just 1 gem, not really that big of a deal, but he's in 4 now, so he could get some lead here.
Yep, that red Lizalfo's given Chad a little bit of a hard time, but takes it down for a cool 200. And learning, so if you played the vanilla game, you know that there are certain enemies in the east that are invulnerable to your sword attacks. Well, of course, we shuffle that too, so there's random enemies, and that blue Octorok was one of them.
Yeah, I think the Mews are also invulnerable, and I think I stand corrected that this is actually 1 and not 4.
Yep, 4 was on Maze Island, so yeah,
That's
Vix
right.
is definitely in 1 here, as Chadbert just peeked in and saw the same color scheme. But gonna go into Risen here. This could be that glove that was hinted.
Yeah, and speaking of glove, we may see a glove block in a palace that Vix gets stopped by. Not yet, but perhaps soon. Or no glove here either.
Yep, no such luck, but especially this early in the seed, I'm never going to turn away from a free heart that I've already dug through a cave for.
Yeah, so we got both caves down. We've got Desert Tile, Water Tile still out there. Water Tile needs the boots. We've still got both items in New Kasuto, 6 for the basement, and of course, wherever the spell is to get into the spell tower. Funny enough, that was what I think kind of settled it in the previous race, if I'm not mistaken, was glove in spell tower. So I wonder if I believe that's correct, and if that's the case, I wonder if Chadbert's going to, now that he knows glove is east, if he's going to not, if it feels like New Kasuto might be it, if he's not going to pass by it this time around, if he can't help it.
Yeah, and looks like all we have left for spells are Naburu and Darunia with fire and spell, respectively. Not sure which is which yet, but those are the only 2 outstanding towns and outstanding spells we have.
Yeah, the trial's not super hidden, and if it is Darunia's spell, Vix will be able to get that, but it may be Chadbert finding that glove first, assuming a few things fall into line here.
Yep, and Chadbert's having a heck of a time crossing this bridge. This is definitely a candidate for Fairy, but as we've been discussing, Chadbert kind of left that back in the west.
Yeah, I might take care of this lever if I could, because it's just one of these sky levers that just continues to pop out of the sky, and he's going to truck you at some point. Oh, don't! You can't pick it up and jump. There's phantom damage that you take when you pick up a 1-up. Certain enemies will cause phantom damage after you grab that 1-up out of the drop pool, and so he grabbed the 1-up, and the Boggles 100% will smack you every single time, and right into the lava, right into the water he fell.
Yep. And it also, one of those things where picking up that 1-up that dropped, if that was in midair, that can arrest your momentum too, so you got to be really careful with those sometimes.
Yes. You kill something and you try to walk forward, then boom, you grab it. You hear the little sound, the little jingle, and then you stop moving and you just walk right into a pit. It's infuriating, but yeah, absolutely.
Yep, and Chadbert's saying, all right, I've had enough. This could be his play back to that fairy spell. We'll see.
He got some information. P1, not like again, Vix having P2, very easy, not going to be too much of an advantage. You just got to walk in and place the gem. P1 seems to be giving Vix the business here. I think we're seeing a full clear P1 here on Vix's side, but P1 is going to be such a small palace that if Chadbert has to do the same thing, that it's not going to be that big of a deal either. So these early palaces for Vix are nice, but not something that Chadbert can't possibly catch up on.
Yeah, and this is a room Vix bailed on earlier. Doesn't want to do the 4 tile gaps. Probably wanted to conserve fairy for key doors, but now realizing, probably this was the way.
Yeah, we're also not seeing keys in the drop pool in this seed. So keys, we have a flag that can randomize the boss item drop, and it can be any small item if the flag is on to randomize it, but it's off in this flag set, so bosses will always drop keys. So as long as you know you can reach the boss, which is probably right here as Vix comes into the boss room, you don't need that last cast of fairy. Just as long as you can kill the boss, you'll get the key from him and just make it through that door, place the gem.
Yep, and just like that, you see why Horsehead is the boss of the first palace in the vanilla game.
Yeah, I also wonder if Chadbert was maybe gambling on maybe trying to find a key, the magic key on the east or something. Again, we didn't have a hint for it, but I don't know. I like to look around myself as well, because if you can find the key, it's way better than fairy spell, relying on fairy to get through doors.
Oh, absolutely. And there's always a chance that you'll get some of those rooms in the palace that just have the key sitting there, either on a bridge or on like the little sconce. And we did see Vix earlier going into a room that we recognized as a dead end, because at the end it could be a pea bag, it could be a key, but he unfortunately just got the little magic jar of sadness.
All right, we found 3 out of our 4 additional hearts in the seed here. We've got this Risen, Sunken, and P1 all have hearts in them. Something that our runners are not going to scoff at. Again, always have to call back to a lot of people. This is our first year of trying the Upstarts tournament, so people up to this point have been watching Z2R, used to watching some professional elite runners at times, and they just skip a bunch of stuff, and they scoff at the life spell, something along those lines. You're not going to be seeing that. You're going to probably see a few extra safeties from these runners. Totally understandable, totally expected. So they are not. They definitely will pick up all those hearts.
Absolutely. And I mean, at the end of the day, this is a race, and staying alive is faster than game over.
Truer words have never been spoken. Especially we almost saw that game over in for Vix in Old Kasuda there. So yeah, more hearts, better.
Yep, I'm sure no one in this chat or comms booth has ever been burned by skipping a life level or skipping a heart and then promptly regretting it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, doesn't sound like it.
Absolutely not. Chadbert going to try to find the second item here. He's going into one of these dead ends on Maze Island, which is where we know it's going to be, because Vix has covered all the major walkways. All right,
or so we thought.
Yeah, so there's one more south of the palace. Chadbert's going to come up. He's got to go north a little bit, and then there's another encounter that then starts going south, and there's a little jut into there.
Yeah, Chadbert also getting the business there. From you said there's Zoras. I just call them little. I thought they were Dodongos.
Yeah, they're Zoras, apparently. It's weird because Zoras in water for every other Zelda in existence, I'm pretty sure, but in this game, they're out-of-water dinosaurs. I just call them dinosaurs, really.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, nothing else is strange about this game, or the naming conventions, or the enemies, or...
You're speaking a different language when you're talking about Zelda enemies.
I still think the best example is look at Guma during the race, and then go to Wikipedia and search for the official artwork for Guma.
Isn't he supposed to be a minotaur?
Yes, he's supposed to be a minotaur.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a human guy who's just got his shirt off and he's wearing a spiked helmet in this one.
Yep, Vic's finding our last 2 towns here, and yet there is Spell in Nibiru, so that is going to put fire into Runia. Is going to be linked to something, and again, they have that kid.
Yeah, I don't know if we've, I don't know how much of the east we've uncovered. Again, without the boots, we kind of had restricted access. Did see a 3-eyed rock in this flag set. It could be a town. It won't be a palace because we've seen both palaces outside of Death Valley on the east. So it still could be Darunia, but if it's that hidden and we don't have a flute, then I don't think we'll be grabbing the fire spell, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yep, I think at best it could be the desert tile, because unless my terrible eyes deceived me, we can see Darunia from Nibiru here.
Okay.
It's a little northwest.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, the 3-eyed rock could be hiding a useful tile. There, that would be the last one, I guess. Yeah, desert tile. Or it could be hiding a very quite useless tile, so it could also be nothing. Well. We see the desert tile just above Darunia here.
Useless it is. So hopefully that's something these runners are taking into account of, okay, I've seen 2 palaces, I've seen all 4 towns, I know where the caves are. And so yeah, they know then that they don't need that flute. So if they either get a hint for it or they see it, they know they can skip it.
Fairy looks like it's come down to about 32, about half of Vix's magic there at Magic 5.
Our first magic decanter.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Because if it is just a little more than 32 at Magic 5, then that still is only just 1 cast for Vix, where it will be 2 cast. Oh, I just missed it on Chadbert's side, where it will be 2 casts then for Chadbert, but it's definitely going to be 2 casts for Chadbert.
Yeah, it's definitely right on that sliver of. It looks like it's just a smidge over 32 because he has a little bit gone of that last jar.
Well, it's all but sorted here as Vix finds a magic container on the desert tile. We are going into P4 here. Maybe we'll have a quick Karok. Oh, Chadbert with the big play, checking the statue head, getting the jar, grabbing it, and then going out the other way here. Just going to check left first. When he comes back, that door will be gone, so he won't have to waste a key there. Although he's got several options. Because it can feel bad. You ferry through that door, then all of a sudden it's like a dead end, either immediately or two rooms later, and then you're like, well, I just wasted all that time.
Yep, learning those rooms and which ones you can despawn a door in definitely saves a lot of frustration. Vix is going into Valley of Death here.
Yeah, what we're looking for the other. We're missing a palace on the west, and we're missing a palace in the east, and that's going to be either 5 or the opposite 3 and 6. We don't know which one yet because we don't know which one is on the west. I mean, they both could be on the west for all we know, but
true. And with the east, so because we've seen now desert tile and both caves, that spell could be required for that glove. And so could that second magic decanter in Gan and Granny's basement.
Yeah, so New Casuto can, or water tile. I guess so. New Casuto or water tile. Okay.
The seed could totally throw you for a loop and, give you the hammer to go get your boots to go to the water tile, because it never does that, right?
Love that progression. Especially at a race where where you would like things just to be a little bit more straightforward, but a little bit of linear progression is nice. And it looks like P5 here in the valley, going to be going in. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get attack 5 before reaching Guma. It's possible with these. Oh, okay. Never mind. We may have attack 5 by the time we see Guma, seeing as there's a glove block 2 rooms in. That was a little bit of time spent on Vix's side there. We'll see if Chadbert wants to dig out the glove before he starts trying more palaces in the east.
Yep, and you got your wish here, Mirai. Nice quick Karok.
And we did see the item as well. It was a cross, and Chadbert just skipped it. He says, no religion for me. Invisible Moas are not scary.
Yeah, and it could be a call there where he said, no, it's not worth going to get, knowing that GP is in the West.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. When GP, because GP, it comes down to the MOAs and the enemy sets that are available wherever the palaces are placed. So when it comes to the West and Maze Island, the MOAs are not invisible. There are no invisible MOAs in the enemy sets on either of those continents. But on the East, where GP normally is, there are invisible MOAs. But like you say, it's on the West today, so no threat from invisible MOAs being in GP. Always, it is these are the little things. These are little things you kind of keep in the back of your mind. I mean, technically, it is a time save to skip the cross there. You know, assuming he doesn't get beat up too badly here on the East by invisible MOAs in these encounters. But I think he should be okay.
Yep, I think he will be, and now probably going to be pleasantly surprised or pleasantly upset at how quickly he's going to see Germafencer here, or Helmet Head.
Yeah, we'll also see if I think he's probably going to take the same route that, or make the same choice that Vix did, just going to get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, he knows the glove is in the East, so what's he left looking for? Probably those boots, maybe the Any Key. As Vix picks up his second decanter, Chadbert placing a second gem, tied up on gems here. A couple of different gems. And interestingly enough, Karok gave just enough experience to Chadbert to level up and then get another level on that gem. So that's
Nice.
always a feels good.
Yeah, the double level from the boss is a great thing.
Yep, it's that's the ultimate. All right, perfect. And then the opposite side of that is you're left 15 XP short after killing the boss, and you're like, well, now what?
Yeah. Place it for 15 experience or walk out and spend time getting that double level. Man, it is. It's a very tough decision in a race like that.
Yep, I think Vix just had a little mental lapse there. He went into a town. He went into Old Kasuto and then up an aid because he was out of magic. I don't think he intended to do that because now he's back on the West, but he might have. I'm not entirely sure.
Definitely a thing that has happened to me recently. Walked into a town and up an aid thinking that it was a palace, but just a casual race for sure. Yeah, nerves are going. Could be, or it could have been just on purpose to go back to the West. He did see that glove block, right? So he knows that he's missing things on the West, right? We still have, what did we say, Pillar P Bag Cave, Magic Container Cave, and Trophy Cave. So there's still 3 caves out here, and for all he knows, the glove could be in any of these.
Yeah, he is still, to our knowledge, missing that hint that Chadbert got that says it's in the East. But then again, to our point earlier, it could still be sitting on that boots locked spot, and
yeah,
he thinks he needs the boots.
I think Chadbert's making his way over to P1 now. He's going to be headed east through this cave. That's going to spit him out right by P1. Probably do P1 and probably keep walking along the trail and then see the 2 towns, see the desert tile. Wonder how fast. Maybe he'll go into Death Valley as well, but if he does, that'll be no time saved over Vix.
Speaking of time saved, Vix has no time for babysitting, sees the child, and just turns right around.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, he knows that it's the fire spell, so maybe he's thinking, I don't want to walk all the way back to Darunia. I haven't seen fire spit out of any swords yet, so it's possible it could be linked to fairy or even thunder or spell that we haven't seen cast.
Yeah. Yeah, if Chadbert gets it when he's in there and it's like fire, thunder or something, it could be pretty big. Depending, like if you get fire thunder early, it's a lot more useful because you can blow a lot more stuff up. If he gets it later in the seed, then there's less. I mean, he'll still be able to blow things up, but there'll be less to blow up. It'll still help in GP though.
Absolutely, just lowering the cost of that fire. If there's a room with like 2 or 3 of those focas or the chickens, just smashing that fire button a few times to get rid of them.
All right, so chat's saying that we think we do have a fire link. I'm not. Yeah, I missed it. If we saw it, I'm not sure.
Same.
It's also possible that Chadbert's seen it as well at this point, if Vix has seen it. If it's something like Reflect, not sure though.
Yeah, I usually try to flick my sword after each spell cast when I know fire is linked to something, just in case.
Very dangerous room here for Vix. Makes it through it, the life cast, and finds the boss.
Rebanak it is, because it's the same as almost every other arena for a boss.
Yeah, so 6 going to be on the west as well as these 5 in Death Valley. Vix knows about the glove block, but doesn't know where the glove is at. So I wonder, he hasn't found the item in 3 yet. So I wonder if he's going to poke his head back into 3 and start checking these palaces. I wonder if he'll go back into 2 as well.
Yeah, I can definitely see sticking around in 3 a little bit. But going back into 2 is one of those situations where it's like, did you make a gamble and say, I'm not coming back, and that's why I'm bailing? And that could be going through the runners' heads right now, too, of once I make that decision, I'm not looking back until it's too late.
Absolutely.
As looks like Chadbert did find an item room here.
Yeah, this is going to be a heart for him. He'll be matched up with Vix at 7.
7 hearts, life 6, feeling pretty good at that point. It's got the shield spell. They both have the life spell that's actually refilling the vanilla amount, because we also have that flag set to vanilla.
Yeah, it's nice to know that if you're going to pick up life, how much it heals for. Then you're not getting trolled in the shuffled life setting where it's going to be 1 to 5 bars, and if 1 or 2 bars can feel kind of bad. Chadbert saying F that jump in particular and just ferries up and over it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where if I don't get it in the first 2 times, I just get frustrated with myself. So I feel the pain there, Chadbert.
Uh-oh, here's here. Oh, okay. I was gonna say here we are in New Kasuto, but yep, Vix gets it. No hint required.
Grandma's antique glove collection in the basement. Those are legendary driving gloves that Grandma used.
This will be interesting now. We know that if Chadbert just continues to follow the path on the east that's available to him, he will find the desert tile. He'll have his 6th container, and we'll see if he goes back at that point with Nibiru's spell, and the 6th container, as Vix is doing here. I don't know. Maybe it was a calculated decision to go back and on Vix's side to up an A and go back and then do the palace that was there, the 3-6, and then come back to the east, kind of a little bit more accomplished in terms of gem count, and then come back and know that New Kasuto is not that far from where the east drops you off. I don't know.
Yeah, it's easy for us to sit here, and pontificate when you're in that race making those decisions. It's always, and sometimes if you do make that mistake, it's okay. I'm just going to own it now and make lemonade.
Yeah.
It's only a mistake if it doesn't pan out.
I forget what is in. Is this jump in this? Okay, yes, jump in Rudo.
Yep. So as Chadbert comes across Horsehead, our spells in order from first town to last town were Shield, Jump, Thunder, Fairy Spell, Fire, Reflect, and Life. Which means nothing to most of the casual listeners.
Yeah, 3 gems apiece here, but we know that there's a glove block in 5. So if Chadbert does gamble on Death Valley, he's going back the other direction now. He's not going to go up and over the bridge and go to the 2 that we know that the last 2 towns are up there, as well as the desert tile.
Yep, so depending on where those last 2 magic decanters shake out as well, this could be an interesting call.
Oh, are we gambling on 2 having a container for us, or maybe the boots?
Anything's possible at this point. we've seen 3 rooms of P2, so
Yeah, this could be item in the next room, up dead end. Okay, forced left at start here. Could be item in the next, 1 to 4 rooms and make this still a pretty quick P2, or P2 being possibly low 20s in the room count. Having only seen 3 rooms so far, this could be another 12, 15 rooms that we screw around and find a bunch of dead ends until we find the item, and then that's like 6 minutes or so lost.
Yep. And then if the item's right away, it's the one you need. If the item's 20 rooms in, it's just going to be a link doll.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say best case scenario is either going to be, a magic container, I think, possibly the key, but maybe boots into water tile into magic container, and then he can just kind of cruise back. He can just cruise around the canyon very quickly and get done with things, although he's practically done at this point. Boots a little less useful at this stage.
Yep. It's one of those things where it's probably going to help you find those last few caves on the west, but unless we have a required hammer in there, you don't really need to find them.
Yeah, this could be something like the flute for all we know, and then that's a big nothing burger. He doesn't know that yet, though, but he'll see the 3-eyed rock and be like, oh, flute, and then realize it's going to be nothing. Oh, no!
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Did we have another way to go?
I don't think so. Sorry about that, Mariah. I think this was pretty linear to that glove block.
I think so too. There might be one. He's heading back, so there must be at least one other direction.
Actually, yes, it was. I think this room where it's through the door. There's a left here at the top of the elevator shaft.
Right.
It's this room. I thought I saw him go left, but I think he did go left. Yeah.
Oh.
So, yep, that's why.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is a dead end, but that's it. It's glove block P2.
So yeah, right.
Go ahead. I was just saying, knowing the glove is in the east and having that hint, it's like I would just try to stay as east as I could. The desert tile's still chilling there. In this case, it is a magic container that does actually unlock where the glove is at. The spell also still available and free, especially if it was Darunia. He has the child. Staying east and just staying in the overworld in the east is a big deal right now. Unless he was just gambling that it's going to be water tile, looking for the boots, that's a possibility as well. But we know that there are, there's still 2 free non-boots required checks that are readily available.
Yeah, and it's something we can definitely ask him after the fact. It could be one of those things where this is game 2, I'm do or die, I need to make a gamble.
That's true. Could just be trying to make a play somewhere, kind of off the beaten path.
Yeah, because I do like your thought about if I spike the boots and it's water tile, oh boy, because we saw P2, there's a good chance Vix did exactly what he did and bail on it.
Yeah. Plus, we still don't know where this 6 is at, and I'm not 100% sure of the layout. You may still be right on the jump cave going north, and possibly giving us access to that 6 up there. Otherwise, maybe it is. Maybe we do need that water that's along the western side of the western side of the western continent, and maybe the boots actually allow us to walk up north to where 6 is kind of secluded. So, still could be a boots hunt. Are we in 2? We're in 2 again for Vix here, looking for an item.
Yep, so this is where it's going to get a little interesting for us as the viewers, because we know if I were Chadbert 2 and I've already dug 2 and then I get the glove later, I'm not thinking immediately, let's go back to 2, to that one glove lock spot. It's, okay, that didn't pan out, let's do something else. So it's going to be interesting to see what this item is here once Vix gets past that glove block.
Yeah. And again, it's another kind of question to ask, at what point we essentially are ready to go. We don't really, unless he has more information. It's possible he has more or better information than we do right now. Again, maybe he's deemed that 6 is going to be somehow blocked behind the boots and that there isn't a pass-through cave to get us there. So if he's deemed that, then yeah, I think we're on a boots hunt. But if not, I do question what we're doing in 2. Other than just, trying to find some, like a magic container or the magic key or something.
Yeah, and okay, Vix started to commit for that key and then decided against it.
Yeah, no enemy here in the front. This is going to be a generator room. We see, okay, we've got tin suits and rawheads easily dispatched in this room here. Very dangerously played, though, but he makes it through. I think he was just like, I'm just going to keep holding right and jumping.
I'll be right back. I need to catch my breath there. Playing fast and loose, jumping over some of those iron knuckles, and yeah, just makes it through, no problem.
All right. Item was 2 rooms after that glove block.
Yep, as Chadbert puts Rebo in the corner.
Wow. Magic key in 2.
Probably not what he wanted, but, I mean, not exactly something you're going to scoff at. As you already pointed out, keys aren't really in the drop pool. I mean, you're still using Fairy as your resource. I'm not going to say no to it.
Yeah.
As Rebo down for Chadbert, evening us up on gems again.
Yeah, we don't know what is in... We don't know how... First of all, we don't know how to get to 6. We also don't know what is in 6 in terms of a potential glove block. We know that 5 is a glove block, and we know that if Chadbert does not find this 6th container, that he's not going to be getting this glove anytime soon. We know there is a 6th container that is available, sitting on the desert tile, waiting for him, but he hasn't gone that way just yet. We'll see how long it takes to get there, and I don't remember if we saw what was in P3 on Vix's side.
We didn't. I was about to say that. It was another situation where he killed Rebo and said, all right, I'm gone. Okay. So it's this left here that he didn't explore.
All right, so if this is a magic container, this might actually be pretty big for Chadbert. This is going to actually possibly save him a little bit of time. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. I mean, to get to the desert tile and then have to walk all the way back to New Kasuto is kind of a hike. So if this is just a magic container, this will allow him to just hit up New Kasuto before he heads up towards Death Valley or something like that.
Oh!
Rebo with the boots. Have seen that hint before. Not in this game, but definitely have seen that hint.
Yep, so this is definitely that situation we were just talking about of if P6 is truly blocked by those boots, when does Vix go back into 3 if you're cheering for Vix, and if you're cheering for Chadbert, Vix never goes back into 3. So we'll have to see where 6 resides.
Yeah, water tile's just north of where we're at here. I hope he checks. I hope he sees that. Just northwest, west.
Chadbert, thank you.
Again, he needs a... Well, I guess he'll see the desert tile eventually, and he'll just be able to walk it back to New Kasuto. Okay.
Yep, and there's that hammer.
Vix back into 5, this time with attack 5. As I said, we're not going to be doing Guma at attack 5, but now we are, because we did have to back out earlier.
Mariah's always right.
Not always right.
And not only with attack 5, but with that glove, able to punch through that first glove block that we saw earlier.
I am hoping we do not go into Death Valley before we go further north. Chadbert knows there are 2 towns missing. He knows the glove is east. There's a desert tile missing as well. Please don't do another palace until we are in the safety zone of glove on hand. Vix, wow.
He's giving me an aneurysm with some of these lava rooms, man. But this is definitely the antics of someone who says, I'm comfortable at these levels. I'm just going to get the rest off of probably bosses and just go. Because he's not really taking that time to kill the enemies anymore. He's just blitzing through them and saying, all right, goodbye.
P5 not being kind here. Yeah, not Vix. Chadbert is going to grab spell, not knowing that the spell tower. What was this? I don't even remember what the spell tower was. Something forgettable.
Yeah.
Oh, it's trophy for jump. It's trophy for jump.
There you go.
Okay, so not that forgettable if we do want jump. And jump is super nice to have in GP. So I wouldn't fault anyone for going to get the trophy if they wanted that and then going to pick up jump. Have we had a junction? Did I just miss a junction in P5, or has it been linear this entire time? Wow, another one of these rooms.
And more rawheads.
And Bogos, all right. Handles it.
He's going to have to start making tutorials on those. Oh, there was a junction because that's a dead end.
Yeah. Making tutorials. Just hold right and hope for the best, guys.
the anti-chroma book.
All right, so yeah, whenever you see an enemy there, right as you walk in, that first platform, if you're heading left to right, you see an enemy, you know that there won't be generators in here. You can't say the same if you're walking in right to left. There's always an enemy on that first platform, so it's not a designation, the designator to tell you, or an indicator to let you know that there are generators in there or not. You won't know until you get until you get another platform or two in, and then you realize, oh, it's Mowheads and Rawheads, and this is terrible. But I'm glad it hasn't been too bad. The Bago and Rawhead room was kind of bad. I'm glad that Vix made it through and saw the dead end. Otherwise, if he game overed in there, he might try to go back through there again later. We've seen some races where we've had a terribly forced path through one of those double generator rooms, and it has definitely cost one runner a good chunk of time where the other one was able to slip through the first time through. Something that has slightly changed in the latest version of the randomizer, where there's a new option to just keep it as one generator instead of double generators.
Yep, and here goes Chadbert, gonna finally get that glove because he grabbed that. Nope. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, this is good for him. The boots, again, kind of helping in this area. Not having to walk all the way back to the cave like Vix did, just using the boots to get over here.
Okay, it looks like we had an elevator with a couple of junctures here, so looks like Vix has taken his final path on that juncture. Nope, another dead end.
Yeah, these are the things. So in the last game, I think they both got beat up pretty badly by 5. Vix's 6, if I'm remembering this correctly, Vix's 6 wasn't too bad. Chadbert's 6 was horrendous, and that cost him a ton of time. And so we'll see. Here's, last 2 palaces for Vix and Chadbert, 5 and 6 here. 5 taking a long time for Vix as well. Looks like a left at this open air elevator room. At least that's where we're headed. And as we've been saying, if you just follow the meta, we expect Chadbert to just kind of follow in the footsteps of Vix here, unless he gambles on the left somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, could be. Got an elevator room here for Vix. I don't think we've seen the item yet in 5 either. I know I've been, again, trying to watch both screens here, but I think we're still missing the item and Guma.
I think you're correct. Well, boss found, but item still missing.
Fair. Just the item now.
All right, I think Chadbert's going to be heading into 5 to join Vix here, although Vix will be on his way out as Chadbert heads in.
Yeah, especially with how deep this was. Yes, Tank, you are correct. There was a hint for it. I guess I was saying we haven't seen the item room.
Yeah. That's right. Just a pea bag.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it was the hint. It was right in the beginning. We were commenting that Vix was passing up the houses with the NPCs in them. And then, of course, in Rudo, they're the last woman standing on the outside, checks her for the hint, and she says Guma sits on the pea bag. So that's where that came from.
doing a good job getting multiple hits per flail swing here on Vix's side. Got Baby in the corner, and nice work, takes Guma down.
Yeah, 5.56 on levels. Chadbert at 6.5, 6.57. So better levels here are going to be potentially faster Guma when he finds them, which is kind of buried. Kind of a terrible location for the boss. It's going to be like a last left location here.
Yep. And so, yeah, Vix grabbing that life level and is out.
Still got to go find 6. Where's 6? Is it boots locked? Does Chadbert have the advantage here? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Where is 6?
Yeah, this could be that moment of truth of was there something leading north, or is Vix going to have to go all the way back to 3 here? Luckily, 3 is on the west, but still.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do we maybe see a Death Mountain gamble?
I was incorrect. I apologize. It looks like Jump Cave goes south.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, right there to nothing. Okay, so backwards ferry it is the only way out of this starting area, it seems like. So 6 evades us somewhere. I don't know if we saw Parappa Cave. I don't think we saw Parappa Cave, but that doesn't mean that all of that isn't boots locked still.
Yep, we have seemingly a very large northern portion of the west that's eluding us.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is worrying, and I'm sure Vix is like, I haven't seen 6 yet. Where is this 6? And it seems like you said, large northern portion. We've seen everything here, if I'm not mistaken, on the south side.
Yep, and he doesn't know it, but this is the play Vix needs to make. Because he's back in 3, either knowingly and willingly, or he thinks this is 6 and he somehow missed it.
Yeah. But that does beg to question if he knows it's 3 and he's in here for the item, is he gonna remember exactly which turn he needs to make? That's always the thing when you come back 10, 15, 20 minutes later after you're done with the palace. It's like, where did I go exactly? Luckily, it's just 3, and it's not that big. Even if he sees the boss room, he'll just turn around, or maybe he'll make the call here, and he's making the call.
Yep. So this is going to be huge for Vix. Got definitely paid out. We have the raft, which goes to DM, so it could have very well been in DM. I think if Vix had the hammer and I was in his shoes, I may have done something like that, because then it's 2 items to 1 in a palace that I've already cleared. But again, we get the privilege of viewing this from 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
Live from our commentary blimp.
Oh, Chadbert getting knocked into the lava there, saving with Fairy, but this is a dead end after this, so hopefully he doesn't game over in this room. This is the tough version of this room.
Yeah, you would really hate to see, having to back out of here before seeing that it's a dead end. Right afterwards, totally fine by me. Just don't, and he makes it through. Excellent. But it's the fake out dead end too, where you're like, this could be the boss.
Yeah.
Nope. So yeah, here we are, that completely boots locked section of the west here.
Wow, that's a very good call there.
And there you go, 6 in a little swamp.
All right, so we'll see how much this trolls Vix. Maybe the dragon is right at the bottom of the first elevator. But maybe not.
The fairy glove room here.
Yeah, we also had a right upstairs, so 2 rights at start here. And another fairy glove block, or dash, I guess, but there's no dash in this seed. Or unless you're fancy, you can bounce off the raw heads as well.
Yeah, it always feels good to pull that trick off. It's like, all right, I made it, and then you hit a dead end. You go, all right, it was worthless.
It's like same thing with the Eco Key or Eco Moa. You get up there and you're like, all right, cool. We're in some area where we might not supposed to be in, and it's a dead end. It's like, all right, well, whatever.
And this is why the game didn't want you to be there. But
Yeah,
Vix
right.
finding a dead end at the end of that first elevator shaft, so it is just this first right here. Who knows how much longer though? P6 can be what, almost 40 rooms? No, it's not that big.
High 20s.
2 and 5. Yeah,
high 20s, yeah.
I was going to say 2 and 5 are the longest, right?
5 and 6 are the longest.
Okay.
2 and 4 are going to be about the same length. They have 2 and 4 are the same range in the randomizer for plus or minus 25% of their vanilla room count. 5 is the longest one in vanilla. 6 is just slightly shorter than that. And then if you add plus 25% to each of those, I think 5 can be like either 28, 29, or maybe 30 rooms. And P6 can be, again, high 20s as well.
Gotcha. I knew you'd have the right math on that. I just needed to post a false fact, and then you'd be able to correct me. Thank you.
That's how you get information on the internet.
Yep.
Well,
oh, wow. And there's our Barba.
As we walk into Guma. So seemingly a little bit faster for Chadbert maybe in his P5. The fight might go a little bit faster so he doesn't get beat up here too much. He's got to make it directly to that 6, though, after this. And he has to hope that Vix is going to get trolled in GP.
Yep. Vix using those upstab chin strats here. And Chadbert just mistiming the jumps just a little bit, having a tricky time with Guma here. There we go. Now it's getting into the rhythm, and as soon as I say that, it gets bopped.
Yeah, Vix came in here with enough for shield and life, so even if Chadbert takes a death here. Speak of the devil.
Yep, couple of lives to spare though here, and sorry, Marai, Vix, not your friend today. Burning gems.
Yeah, we'll have to have a chat about that.
All through the brackets, all through the brackets, Marai's like, "Hey, they're burning gems, yay!" And then, nope. Wait. Okay, no, for a second I thought it was literally just north of the grass tile and it wasn't actually boots locked, but I think there was a strip of water up there that I was like, hold on.
Yeah, this Guma is beating Chadbert up here. I think Vix's P5 took so long because I think up to the second dead end, he up and A'd, and he had to do it all over again, I believe, whereas Chadbert just walked it back. I could be wrong on that, though. That's why
I think so, as Guma goes down right as the curtain goes up.
Yeah, 105, 51, 52 right in there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not feeling terrible about that barrier up time. I mean, probably doesn't feel great knowing that he left those boots that were required behind. But I mean, Vix has definitely made some calls here that have paid out, and you know, Chadbert holding off until he has those boots to go back to the east. I mean, it's definitely not a wrong call, because now he's just going to be able to zip right on over. Yep, going to grab jump, zip over to 6. As we know, Barba's not too deep, and then we'll see if that level advantage plays a big role here.
Yeah, also an extra magic container on Chadbert's side. Or no, just different aspect ratios we're seeing here on the streaming page. It just makes it look like because his bars are longer. It's just the way it looks in the picture. It looks bigger.
No, I totally see what you mean there.
Perfect. All right, we got some junctions here. We had an up and left in GP. We've got a fairy room here. This is a vanilla room, but it's flipped. So we've got a right hand turn and a down. We don't know where this down goes just yet.
Yep, and Chadbert actually remembering that I don't need to go reverse fairy. I can just go through Saria to get to that other side of the west here.
Yeah.
So fun fact for the uninitiated in chat, that orange chicken that Vix just killed in one shot is coded in the vanilla game but never used. And it just has the 1 HP, so even if you're at attack 1 and you come up against one of them, one well-placed hit should take it out.
Chadbert knowing exactly where to go as well, except he's going to head east, and he's probably going to find Parappa Cave over here somewhere when we need to go west.
Yeah, Parappa, Trophy, and that, what's it called? The Magic Container Cave.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, I was going to say 1 up for Vix here in this room. Next room looks a little busy.
Yeah, probably why he grabbed that 1 up and takes a beam on the way out. Oh! Just stands up at the wrong time as Chadbert peaks 6 here.
All right, so he's probably going to take the first right, leads to a dead end, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think it's a left from there. And then it's what was maybe the first elevator that goes up right into Barba. Not 100% sure, but it wasn't too long for Vix. Or, I'm sorry, he's going to go, that's right, 2 rights at start. Got to go up. Oh,
Yep, well. He wants to take that middle junction there. So I think it's about only 3 or 4 rooms here to the dead end, but that's still going to be time that he's not going to want to give to VixRyder.
Yeah. Yeah, Vic's getting a little beat up here. He's already lost a life. He's not enough to cast Thunder at the moment. Also, only 3 bars of health left. So, if we see a Thunderbird, we are going to have to take a death.
If we see a what?
A Thunderbird.
Oh, what does he look like?
Like that.
Oh.
So, perfect routing here.
I appreciate that the runners are staying on our script so well.
Well, he did get a 1 up, so I guess he's got... I didn't even pay attention to the game over screen to the lives. He must have 1 life extra left here.
I believe so. He has at least 1 in reserve. And attack 6, buttery smooth on this T-Bird, taking out just 2 swings per bar. I gotta say, though, Mirai, I am not a fan of the color palette of this palace with these fireballs.
That is true. That definitely comes into play, especially when there's a background. Sometimes the background is just pitch black, and it's nice and easy to see the fireballs, but then there's a pattern, and when it's a red-ish, the fireballs tend to blend in.
Yep, but Vix resetting the pattern there against that far right wall gets T-Bird back into the pendulum and takes it down.
I think Chadbert's about to hit Barba here.
I think so. I think it's right up here. Yep, there we go.
I've got a downstab room for Vix here. I was about to say probably King Bot up here. It is another elevator down as well. This could be our Dark Link right here.
That's true. I think Vix did say no to a junction earlier, if I'm not mistaken. So there could be a lot of palace behind that junction, or just 1 room, and then we're in for a little bit of a haul here yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, there were 2 junctions. So there was an up and left first that he saw, and then in the ferry room there was a right and a down. He took the down. So depending on where all that led to, yeah, I mean, maybe those 2 things could have led to each other. But like you say, there could be a lot of palace back in those 2 junctions, and there might just be a Darkling at the top of this elevator coming up.
The dots rising in anticipation. Rawheads swooping in anger.
Yeah, all these enemies take off almost a bar, I think, at life 7 here on our vanilla effectiveness. Oh, maybe not. Oh, he's shielded as well. Sorry, he's shielded, but no life cast or anything. Wow.
Okay, game. So yeah, I'm gonna guess there's about 20 rooms behind those junctions.
Well, if he takes 2 hits, it will be a game. Oh, no, he has 1 life left, I believe, right? So if he takes 2 hits, oh, okay. If he takes 1 more hit.
Yep, switch into the crouch strats.
And that's it. GG's in chat for VixRyder. Taking game 2 as well on this best of 3 series. And that is going to be your year 1, 2023, first year, 2023 Upstarts tournament champion.
Yeah, 112.49 in the race room. Not too darn bad. That's a solid time.
Yeah, that's a very good time. if Chadbert walks the same way, he's going to be like, what, 5 minutes here behind him? I wonder if the lack of having Ferry early on and just sticking to the east and not going back to Mito to grab Ferry, I wonder if that's where 5 minutes went.
I'd be willing to bet it's close to that, yeah.
Yeah, so it would have been possibly the extra time spent in encounters, because not having downstab and having to fight through that, as well as just not being able to dip palaces as early without the Fairy spell.
It is Fire Fairy.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, Chadbert going to be able to conserve some magic that Vix wasn't here. Might be able to get off that Thundercast here, which I think is just down this elevator.
Gets his life back here. VixRyder joining us. GG, Vix.
Thank you, GG's.
GG to you, sir.
I'm not 100% sure exactly what you might have done wrong in this seed. Everything seemed to go fairly well. The only question I think we have is there was an up and A in Old Kasuda. We were wondering if that was on purpose or if that was on accident.
Oh, in New Kasudo?
Old Kasuda there. You were in the south, and it could have been on purpose to just make it back to the top side of the east where New Kasuda was, because that's where you did your checks for the glove and whatnot.
I think that was it. I thought that was New Kasudo.
Okay.
And I got my Kasudos mixed up.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, we were wondering if 6 was accessible without the boots, and Chadbert was first to the boots, but you were first to show us where 6 was. I don't know. Man, this was you had Fairy first, you had Downstab first, and we think that is possibly where the few minutes that Chadbert is behind went to. He had the no, you had the medicine first. That's why that was easy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the medicine first out of Heart Container Cave, whereas Chadbert just headed through Reverse Ferry and then saw Mito and all that stuff and didn't head back to Heart Container Cave next to start until a little bit later. And then he even held on to the medicine for a little bit before turning it in. So that's where we think the 5 minutes went here. But he is going a different way here, so it will be a little more than 5 minutes. But if he had gone the same way as you did in GP, he would be probably no more than 5 minutes behind you.
That's fair.
Yeah, I will say one thing Chadbert did have that you didn't, Vix, was a glove hint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of walking into the houses and checking every single hint myself, so I've probably missed a couple throughout this whole tournament. But I knew the trophy was on the east, and I knew I had access to 2 more items. And I wanted to do that before I started digging palaces, looking for a glove.
Yeah, I mean, totally fair, and you're right. In a race where every second counts, going into those houses, that's a risk you're willing to take, and obviously it paid out here. But one thing I did want to ask about is, so in palaces 2 and 3, I mean, 2 was a little easier because Helmet Head was 2 rooms in, but then in Palace 3, you'd done a bit of exploring, kill Rebo, you still probably have a few things to find, but then you bail. Obviously, you go back and get the boots. What was your strategy there on leaving versus exploring a little more in those palaces?
I didn't have the glove at the time, so I was just... I wanted to at least see if I could find the glove before I looked for items, just in case they were actually glove blocked.
Right on.
At least, I don't think I had the glove at the time when I went into P3. I don't remember, if I'm being honest with you.
No, P3 was right before you did P3, and then that's when you headed back to New Kasudo via the cave there to the east.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I was trying to do everything I could before I'm like, because as soon as I found that magic key, I'm like, all right, my item is either in 3 or it's in Death Mountain, and I really hope it's not in Death Mountain.
Yep, completely understandable. And it looks like as Chadbert finds one of these GP fake out dead ends, does say, you know what, I've had enough, and puts in the FF. So get your GGs in chat for Chadbert, please. Your runner-up in the inaugural Upstarts tournament for Z2R.
That's a perfect word, Tiberius. Inaugural. Yes. He is he is the smarter one. I am just here for the voice.
Everyone knows you keep your beard in hair, Mirai. Did I say your beard in hair? I meant brain. See, no, it's not true. Goodness. But I think that chime means we are joined in chat by our runner-up, Chadbert. GG.
GG, and congratulations.
GG's. Thank you, and congrats on the runner-up.
Yep, I'm very happy with those results. Would have liked to win it all, but you know, the fact that I've made it to my first ever randomizer tournament finals is definitely something.
Yeah,
I don't know how you actually got it so fast, but go ahead.
I was going to ask Chadbert. Well, the thing is that Heart Container Cave was right there next to start. Vix actually went in there first before heading off in the other direction. So he had the medicine when he first saw Mito, and you didn't. But even after you got the medicine, you didn't immediately go back to turn in Fairy and grab Downstab and all that stuff from Mito. You did walk around for a little bit while longer, and we think that might have been exactly where these possibly 5 minutes went between missing the medicine and then having to get the hint, and then when you grabbed it, you didn't turn it in immediately. That was probably combined time right there of exactly what the separation was here in this seed, other than checking 2 for the item and being glove blocked away from it. And that was the only other time wasted, I think, overall.
Yeah, I did not want to dig 2 at all because the immediate boss, and I'm like, I have a feeling boots are required at this one, and it's going to be in a palace, and I read that part right, but I was just like, and I felt bad that I had to dig 2, but I was right there, so I had to.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. I did it too.
Yep, and we were discussing in the booth too, like, at least P2 you had only seen 2 rooms of, so it's not like you had already dug out some of the palace and you're retracing those steps. So I mean, digging P2 is a logical choice in that situation.
Yeah, it would take a long time to get back there, and in fact, after I up and ate, I realized that there was another route I didn't go, so there was still rooms. It may not have been glove blocked, but maybe it was. But after up and ate, I was like, well, hopefully it's not there.
It was glove blocked. I can confirm.
Yeah, we saw Vix get it. It was the magic key at the end of the day. I guess the only other, and this is, I mean, it's not even, I wouldn't even call it a mistake, but it's just simply a difference, is that leaving P1, there was still, you, I think, went back to 3 at this point, and that's where you got the boots. But from P1, you could take the bridge just north of there, hit the last 2 remaining towns and the desert tile. That's what Vix did, and that's where he got his he got his first magic container there, and I forgot what the other one was, but then he found that other one. He had 6, and he was first to the glove by accident. You had the glove hint, and he didn't. But I mean, it was just like overworld checks that had to be done. So, you know, heading back to New Casuto with 6 containers at some point was on the list of things to do.
I think I got my other container on Maze Island.
Yeah, that would have been the first. Yeah, so Chadbert got, that's right, it was the second item. The first one was a doll. The second one was a magic container on Maze Island. You skipped out on that, Vix. Chadbert found that first. That's what it was. You each found each other's magic container first, and then you found the reverse, and then that was, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that was probably the bigger one, because I memory hold that there was a pass-through cave over there, I think it was, that you had to get up there. And I was just like, oh, I don't have any other way up there after I went to the bridge and saw nothing. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Either I just completely didn't see it, which is also a possibility.
Yeah. Moving quick when the timer's going. Game 2, you're down a race, and it's like, I'm going, and all kinds of hasty decisions end up being made.
Yep.
For sure.
I mean, otherwise, from our perspective, once it all came together, it seemed like a pretty straightforward seed overall. Other than the boots kind of being hidden in three not being too much of a troll, but of course 6 being locked behind the boots there. Nothing special on the water tile that I can remember. I think that was the hammer on the water tile. Chadbert, you showed us that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And of course, then the magic key that Vix had in P2 did not come into play beyond when he got it. There was no double glove block. There that particular room in GP was not present, at least on the path to Darklink, that required the key. So
I checked. I had 2 keys in pocket.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Because I have been bitten by that particular room.
Yeah. Other than that, Tiberius, any additional thoughts here?
No, just really what I was saying, in the race room beforehand, it's been a blast watching you both and all the runners, just the growth and how quickly you all are becoming quite scary to race against in the community. to be completely honest, I'm excited. It's bringing a huge smile to my face. Thank you both for being a part of this. I saw Aaron in chat, another one who went deep in the brackets here. So it's been amazing to watch. So thank you both for putting on a great final series. Chadbert, I know it didn't quite pan out the way you wanted to, but you still put in a heck of a tournament.
I can always say I won the Mario Kart portion.
Yeah, I will absolutely echo those words as well. Chadbert's been in some casual races lately, taking some points off of some pretty good runners in casual races. We've been having these late night degen hours for Eastern Standard Time, players, but other West Coast kind of normal time, Europeans kind of normal time. But yeah, doing well. It's been very exciting to watch this unfold. This is our first attempt at doing something like this in the Z2R community, and I'm sure people should probably give their feedback if there's not like a feedback form that's gets sent out or anything like that. But we'd love to hear what people think about this. You may have some negative thoughts, so you don't have to air those on the comment in the commentary booth here right now. But I guess if you'd like, how did this ultimately treat both of you here? We'll start with Chadbert.
Yeah, so as I said before the race, and before doing any tournament practice at all, I had only attempted like 6 Z2R seeds and only completed 2. And those were 6 gem standard-ish settings with added P-bag, 1,000 point P-bags. Or however it was I tried to set it up before. I could only complete 2 of them. So the fact I went from that to being in the finals is a big testament. So if I give my little quick final thoughts on all that stuff, I want to thank the Alan Heffley for administrating the whole tournament, getting it set up, and Marai for various learning classes and teachings and stuff like that. And a couple of personal thanks to JLo for being my mentor in all of this, and a couple of friends, Sonny, Wrath, and Shadow Mr. T for being up with me nightly running these Z2R practice seats. Thank you.
Very cool. Very cool. Great to hear. Vix?
Oh, I had a blast with this, honestly, more than I thought I would. Coming from the Link to the Past randomizer, this is just a completely different game and a completely different randomizer, and I wasn't sure how well I had liked it, and then I picked it up and started enjoying it so much so. And I want to echo Chadbert's words of the thanks to TAH and Marai and everybody putting this on, and also to the more personal thanks as well to Tiberius and Homewrecker for the pickup races and things like that while I was learning and kind of teaching me how to play this game. And I'm coming for both of you guys in the main tournament, so...
Very cool, very cool. I was going to ask, I believe that did Homewrecker coerce you into this? Was this like a package? It was like you and Zen and a bunch of other people.
Yeah, he coerced a few of us into this.
And then here you are. You take the whole thing, man, here at the end. Wow. Very cool. So that's it from me. Again, just one, Tyverus, if you got any last final thoughts before we pass it up to VXR?
Just always a pleasure being in the booth with you, Mirai. Again, if you like what you saw, follow the ZSR family, and I'll let VX take it away.
All right, now this tournament may be over, but as TH is saying in chat, the standard tournament starts up in just over a month from now. And the weekly races in the time being, pending volunteers and runners. Coming up this weekend, the Wind Waker Randomizer Season 6 tournament brackets will start. So stay tuned for that. Majora's Mask Randomizer qualifiers are continuing as well. There's a lot going on here on ZSR over the summer. So thank you all so much for watching, and have a nice night.